What's up, y'all? This is Jason with the Ask Jay Klein Show. This is episode number 8, and we're going to be talking about some interesting things today. We're going to be talking about patellofemoral syndrome. Got a question on that. And if you have ever had any knee pain or anything, who hasn't had any sort of knee pain throughout their life, you're going to want to pay attention. We're talking about intermittent fasting again. It's a good topic. It's an interesting topic. And we're talking about 24-hour fasting as well, I believe. Anyways, I believe that was the question. So let's get into episode number 8. So, first question from Sue S. She asks, what leg exercises can someone with patellofemoral syndrome do? Now, Sue, and everybody else out there, I'm very conservative on my answers to injury and morbidity types of questions because it's not my scope of practice. So just a little disclaimer there. I'm not going to give you any deep recommendations or convictions on what you should do about your injuries. You should, first and foremost, make sure that you've addressed, and it sounds like you have, addressed it with a physician. On the other side, I can give you my own experience with my own injuries. So, make a long story short, when I was preparing for my final season in college for soccer, I was training hard on my own leading up to preseason, and I was using a modality that you've probably seen, the ankle bands, which basically add resistance, right? External resistance. So I was doing sprints, but what I didn't know, I was oblivious to this, was I was using them so much that my quads overdeveloped, they overstrengthened, and my hamstrings were understrengthened for a series of 3 or 4, I'd probably say 2 months of this. Hard, I was doing sprints several times a week. Not high volume, just high frequency. And so we as a society, and really a worldly society, we all end up going through some stage of quad dominance, which basically it creates a lot of these chronic issues like patellofemoral, patella tendon syndromes, issues, inflammation. So I went into my soccer season that year, and I couldn't even play because the first day of preseason, the pain was so bad on the patella tendon that I couldn't even walk upstairs. So what I had to do was to stretch the heck out of the quad, mainly rest and ice, but also focus on corrective exercise, hamstring exercises. So that's what I recommend, is going to, if you email me at jason.khf, I'll give you some great resources for who I would go to for that. Sue? Next question from Dave. And it's kind of a combined question. Dave, Lane, and Matthew Briggs both asked about intermittent fasting. And if you ever do ask me a question, try to be more like Sue in this case and ask me a full question, just because I like to answer your questions clearly as I can, and try to give you what you're wanting me to get at, instead of just trying to point and shoot in the dark. So, we'll start with Matt. Is fasting more than 2 times per week, per day, per month? He doesn't specify, but I'm going to assume per week. If it's 24-hour fast, no. It's actually, if you're using Eat Stop Eat or a basic rationale, even the marine body rationale, you should be good to go, as long as you're not starving yourself and eating really inconsistently And then we'll have one day where you eat like one meal a day, and then have the next day where you're eating like 3 or 4 meals. Don't do that. So, Dave, I guess he just wants to know about intermittent fasting. Intermittent fasting has been the biggest thing to me in my own personal fat loss journey and just overall fitness in the past decade, easily, as far as nutrition is concerned, because I've been able to, the benefits, right? I've got down to 6% body fat, and I didn't even change anything about my eating. I was eating several cheat meals per week. Sometimes when I was like in Argentina, some days it was like horrible. Like I was having wine and flan, which is like a cheesecake. And though I stuck to my fasting schedule, I was able to just maintain, for the most part anyways, the same results, as long as I was mainly consistent, about 80% consistent. So that's your question on intermittent fasting. If you want more details, I would either go to eatstopeat.com or my favorite, leangains.com. And that's where leangains.com I consider the authority for the type of fasting that I like to do. The 16 fasting, 8 eating. So check it out. That does it for episode number 8, guys. Reach out to me through Facebook, it'd be probably best through Facebook, just because more people are reaching out through Facebook. Easy for me to see. Ask your questions, and I will do my best to answer them. See you guys in the next episode. Ciao.